Honeybees seem to be quite handy pollinators of blueberries as they help to increase fruit yield and quality, a new study at Stellenbosch University found. Dr. Keanu Martin shed some light on this in today's episode of Plaas TV. Daarna is Casper Schmidt aan die woord om oor BKB GrainCo te gesels, maar vir eers die jongste landbounuus.
Communique exists to serve feed and food producers.
Welkom by vandag se nuus. Die nie RWS-aanwyser op ons plaaslike wolmarkte het gedurende van dese week se wolveiling met 1,9% gedaal om uiteindelik op R164,36 per kilogram te sluit. Die RWS-aanwyser het gedurende dieselfde veiling met 1,2% gedaal om op R177,46 per kilogram te sluit. Heinrich Victor van OVK gee nou terugvoer.
Nou, die daling kan dan ook beskou word as 'n navolging van die Australiese EMI wat ook gedaal het op hierdie week se veilings met 1,7% teenoor die vorige veiling. Nou, daar is in totaal 7100 bale aangebied waarvan 91% verkoop is. En dan die aanbieding het weer eens hoofsaaklik bestaan uit goeie lengtes, fyner wolle met bykans 65% van die merino aanbieding wat volhoubaar gesertifiseer was.
En dit was Heinrich Victor van OVK. Data released by the Crop Estimates Committee this week indicates that South African farmers intend to plant a total area of 4.35 million hectares of summer grains and oilseeds in the coming season. This represents a slight increase of 0.2% year on year. The intention to plant maize stands at 2.59 million hectares, down by 1% year on year, but well above the 10-year average area of 2.53 million hectares. The sorghum area could decrease by 11% year on year, while the sunflower seed planting could decline by 13% from the previous season. Meanwhile, the area planted to soybeans is set to increase by 16% from the 2021-2022 production season to a record area of 1.08 million hectares. And according to a report on Fresh Plaza, onions and potatoes have traded places since last year when potatoes shown and onion prices slumped. Kobus Pinaar of Grow Port Natal at the Durban Municipal Market says the price for a 10-kilogram bag of onions is triple that of last year. The onion market is transitioning from Limpopo to the Northern Cape and Western Free State. Prices are expected to remain buoyant until Christmas. Lower available volumes means that onions are selling for as much as R115 for a 10-kilogram bag. And that was today's news, but stay tuned for some insightful interviews.
Communique exists to serve feed and food producers.
Honeybees seem to be quite handy pollinators of blueberries as they help to increase fruit yield and quality, a new study at Stellenbosch University found. I now chat to Dr. Keanu Martin about this. Where do blueberries come from and what pollinates blueberries in their native range?
Thanks for having me. So blueberries are actually native to North America. And in North America, they're pollinated by a wide range of insects, mostly bumblebees and mining bees, as well as blueberry bees. And these bees are a bit larger than, they're quite large bees, so they're able to actually vibrate these blueberry flowers at a certain frequency, which really releases large amounts of pollen, and then that pollen is transported between different flowers and pollination occurs.
Does South Africa not have bumblebees? What are the large bees we find buzzing around in the garden?
Yeah, so there's often a misconception here in South Africa that we've got bumblebees because they look similar to bumblebees, but actually they're not bumblebees at all. They're carpenter bees. And those are the ones that you see in your garden, that's yellow and black and sometimes all black.
Are honeybees the only bees that we can use to pollinate blueberries in South Africa? Are there not other native bees which can do the job?
Yeah, so honeybees are our preferred method of pollinator in South Africa at the moment, just because they're really easy to manage and we can have large numbers of them, which is easily transported between different farms or fields. And we do have other native bees, like I said, the carpenter bees, but unfortunately, unlike bumblebees, which are social animals and they can create these small hives, carpenter bees are actually solitary insects, and most of our bees in South Africa, or a large majority of them, are actually solitary bees. So we can't get them in high enough numbers to really meet the pollination requirements that blueberries have. As many of you know, there are thousands and thousands of blueberry flowers on one blueberry bush. And if you expand that to an entire farm, you can imagine how many pollinators you would need. So honeybees, just their number and they're easily managed, just really helps our farmers out.
What would be so bad about importing bumblebees into South Africa?
Yeah, so importing bumblebees is something that people have thought about, but it's a really dangerous area to be working in. Bumblebees especially are quite good competitors, so they are likely to outcompete our natural pollinators that we have. And that can really disrupt the ecosystem, and especially South Africa, where we have these really closely related and intertwined relationships between our native flora and fauna, which is quite specialized, that we don't see anywhere else in the world. And it's really about disturbing that relationship, which could lead to larger consequences down the line for not only our natural systems, but also as we move across into perhaps even agricultural systems.
What did your paper find?
So this paper that we looked at really wanted to find out how honeybees are doing as pollinators for blueberries. In South Africa, there's not much research about how honeybees are as pollinators for blueberries. And my research basically just wanted to find out, okay, what would happen if honeybees were absent or we had no pollinators, to really find out what the benefit of having honeybees are as pollinators for blueberries, for our specialized varieties that we find here in South Africa. And then secondly, I wanted to find out what the gap was. Was there an improvement that could be made on honeybee pollination, or were they doing really well? Or were they doing really poorly, where we would need to find innovative ways to decrease this gap and really try and increase the efficiency of honeybee pollination on blueberries? So my research basically looked at all those aspects and just found out for various varieties that we have in South Africa, how we can improve honeybee pollination and identify which varieties are actually really good pollinators, or where honeybees are really good pollinators and where they actually increase yield substantially.
How does research like yours contribute to increasing yield?
So as I said, research like this really helps us understand where honeybees are in our environment for blueberries specifically. And it shows us which varieties we can look at where honeybees are doing really well. And we can look at those attributes and those varieties and seem to rather push those varieties. Whereas if we find a variety where honeybees are really not doing too well, we don't have to invest as much money into those varieties, and we can look at bringing in other varieties or just focusing on the varieties where honeybees are doing really well anyway. And that really alleviates some of the pressure that we have to import these bumblebees, and just shows the benefits of honeybees and their pollination on blueberries.
What is next? Is there any other research that is coming out?
Yeah, definitely. There's a number of things coming on. So now I've looked at largely the plant aspects of blueberry pollination, and I've moved on to more the honeybee behavior and foraging movement and patterns of honeybees. So we can try and match up honeybee behavior to our farming practices that we have, to try and really increase the efficiency of honeybees, and not just increasing the number of plants that we have, but trying to really increase the efficiency of honeybee pollination on a smaller area.
How can we get a hold of you or follow your research?
So you can get hold of me by going to my website, Keanu Martin Consulting.co.za, or email me at keanumartinconsulting@gmail.com. Yeah, and also my social media platforms is also Keanu Martin Consulting. So you can get hold of me in those ways.
And there you have it. That was Dr. Keanu Martin of Stellenbosch University.
Syngenta, bringing plant potential to life.
Goeiedag. In die weeklikse kommoditeitsprysverslag kan ons sien dat die prysveranderinge in die rooi vleismark redelik klein was in week 42 van die jaar. Die SA2 karkasse het 0.3% in prys toegeneem, terwyl die C2 karkasprys met 0.1% gedaal het en speenkalvers se prys 0.8% goedkoper geword het. A2 lamkarkasse betref 1.2% duurder, C2 is 0.4% duurder en die speenlamprys op basis onveranderd gebly het. Vraag na varkvleis bly steeds goed en die prys is 2.6% duurder week op week. Afgelope week se wolveiling het die skoon RWS wolindikator met 1.2% gedaal. By graanmarkte het die geelmelkprys verder gestyg met 1.9%, maar die koringprys het met 1.5% afgeneem, terwyl oliesade weer eens goed gedoen het, 1.6% prysstyging in die prys van sojabone, terwyl sonneblomme se prys met 1.3% toegeneem het. Rand het die afgelope week 1.4% verstewig teenoor die dollar, maar 1.2% verswak teenoor die euro.
Syngenta, bringing plant potential to life. BKB, die betroubare tuiste van landbou.
Ons vind nou meer uit oor BKB GrainCo en watter voordele hulle vir hul kliënte bied. Casper Schmidt sluit by ons aan vir hierdie gesprek. Casper, wie is BKB GrainCo?
Baie dankie vir die geleentheid. BKB GrainCo is deel van die BKB span. Ons is 'n graan- en opbergingshanteringsmaatskappy. Ons fokus hoofsaaklik op die opberging, hantering, beroking en kwaliteitbestuur van graan. Ons is 'n relatiewe jong speler in die mark. Ons verwys na onsself as alternatiewe opbergers omdat ons net gebruik maak van silosakke en bankers. Ons is 'n maatskappy wat so plus minus 500,000 ton 'n jaar stoor, meestal graan, maar dit sluit ook ander produkte soos lucerne.
Wie is dan julle kliënte en watter voordele bied julle vir julle kliënte?
Ons kliënte is produsente en afnemers. Ons het alternatiewe metodes. Dit is maklik vir ons om graan te segregeer. Binne 'n spesifieke graanklas kan ons steeds segregeer. Ons kan dus 'n ekstra voordeel vir ons afnemers bied met daai segregasie. Graan kom uit 'n relatiewe kort periode van die lande af, maar ons laai uit oor 'n relatiewe lang periode. Ons is gerad om teen 'n baie vinnige spoed graan af te laai en om teen 'n baie vinnige spoed graan uit te laai. So ons voldoen aan ons kliënte se versoeke en ons wil graag die maklikste en mees effektiefste diens aan ons produsente en afnemers bied.
Wat hou die toekoms in vir BKB GrainCo?
Ons sal altyd probeer om 'n graanopbergingsprobleem vir produsente en afnemers op te los. Ons het tans 11 geregistreerde Safex depots reg oor die land. In die toekoms wil ons graag nuwe fasiliteite bou en die kapasiteit uitbrei. Ons glo dat die voedselsekuriteit en die toegang tot voedsel in Suid-Afrika steeds 'n kwelpunt en ons wil graag 'n konstruktiewe bydrae maak in daai verband.
Casper, baie dankie. Net ter afsluiting?
Ja, ek wil graag vir produsente sterkte toewens. Dis die begin van 'n nuwe plantseisoen. Gedeeltes het goeie reën gekry. Sterkte vir plantheid, sterkte met al die probleme en as daar probleme is, kontak ons.
Casper Schmidt wat ons meer vertel het van BKB GrainCo.
BKB, die betroubare tuiste van landbou.
ARC National KYD Province of the Year Award sponsored by Molotech. The Keanu Martin scheme provides for a comprehensive suite of animal health and production services. The scheme is at the service of any emerging smallholder beef cattle farmer and operates in all 9 provinces. It focuses strongly on collaboration with emerging smallholder farmers, specifically regarding their needs and challenges. The scheme is also involved in the collection of animal performance information. Participants are registered on the Integrated Registration and Genetic Information System, or INTEGIS, which is also the national database. The objective of the KYD Province of the Year Award is to recognize the province with the highest number of participating farmers in the scheme. These farmers must be registered on INTEGIS and must have entered data into the database between March and the year preceding the awards and April of the year of the awards. The 3 provinces with the highest number of participating farmers will receive platinum, gold and silver accolades respectively. Tune in to Plaas TV on the 23rd of November at 6 p.m. to see who will come out tops during the 2022 ARC National Beef Performers Awards.
BKB, die betroubare tuiste van landbou. BKB, the trusted home of agriculture.
Sjoe, dit het katte en honde gereën daar buite. Maar ons is terug. Steeds 'n legende. Well, hi, ys. Dis 'n lekker ding die. Die enigste ding wat mooier is as dit, is dit. Ja, dis nou 'n trok vol liefde. Ons was pootheid, maar nou is ons terug. So dankie vir die ondersteuning, Suid-Afrika. Ons sien uit na die volgende 60 jaar.
Elanco, we are driven by our vision of food and companionship enriching life.